Shut up!
Thank you very much.
Next, we will learn about King Baldwin IV. In the early summer of 1161, a child was born. He was the son of Amalric, Count of Jaffa, and his lady, Agnes of Courtenay.
Have a good day, my lord. Is this my nephew? Let me see. Very handsome, just like me. Thank you, my lord. Have you guys named the baby yet? Not yet, my lord. Then let the child bear my name. That would be perfect. Why don't I be the godfather also, if you say so?
Thus the child was named Baldwin, and Amalric's brother, King Baldwin III, became the child's godfather.
Congratulations, Your Majesty. I have heard that you has recently become the godfather of a child. Yes, he is a lovely baby.
So, what will you be giving the child on his baptism day?
I'll give him the kingdom of Jerusalem.
At the time, those words were taken merely as a polite jest, for King Baldwin III was only 31 years old and had just married a beautiful wife. The prospect of his young nephew ever succeeding him seemed a distant and unlikely one.
Less than 2 years later, King Baldwin III passed away without leaving an heir. As a matter of course, his only brother Amalric became the rightful successor, his claim undisputed by any.
As we all know, Amalric was the only brother of the late King Baldwin, an obvious candidate for succession. That's not enough. The marriage between Amalric and Agnes violated church law, as they were related in the 4th degree of consanguinity. Specifically, they shared a common great-grandfather. But the 4th degree is not so near. Many royal houses have arranged marriages between even closer relatives. The law must be upheld. To permit this union to continue is to risk weakening the people's faith in the church. A king must embody justice and moral integrity. So, according to you, Amalric will only be recognized as king if he forsakes Agnes. That's right. If he wishes to wear the crown, he must cast aside all improper ties. He can be either the husband of Agnes or the king of Jerusalem, but he cannot be both.
In the 12th century, impediments of consanguinity were recognized up to the 6th or even 7th degree. Yet to raise such an objection against a well-established marriage was exceedingly rare. This suggests that the canonical protest masked a deeper hostility from the nobility toward Agnes. By 1163, Amalric and Agnes had been married for 6 years and had 2 children, Baldwin and his elder sister, Sabila. Agnes had been a widow when she married Amalric. Her first husband, Reynald, Lord of Marash, had been killed at the Battle of Enad in 1149.
Hell yeah!
At the time, she was no older than 15, and the marriage produced no children. Just a few months later, Marash fell to the Turks, and Agnes lost all her dowry rights in the region. In 1150, her father was captured by Nur ad-Din, blinded, and imprisoned in Aleppo, where he remained until his death in 1159. Afterward, Agnes's mother, Beatrice, sold the remaining fortresses of the county of Edessa, which he could no longer defend, to the Byzantine Emperor Manuel I Comnenus.
Your Majesty, I offer you my respectful greetings.
What brings you here?
After the death of my husband, Count Jocelyn II, in captivity, the remaining fortresses have become isolated. No army, no reinforcements. Though I have tried to hold them, it has proven futile.
And what is it that you propose?
I humbly request to transfer control of the last fortresses of the county of Edessa to your Majesty. In return, I beg but one thing, a modest annual pension, enough to provide for myself and my children for the rest of our days. You ask me to purchase those isolated scraps of land surrounded by a sea of enemies. Very well. Small though those fortresses may be, they are symbols. I shall grant your request. I am deeply grateful, Your Majesty.
She then withdrew to her private estate at Seon in the Principality of Antioch, where she lived with her son Jocelyn and her daughter Agnes. Agnes remained there until 1157, when she married Amalric.
However, their marriage was officially annulled due to consanguinity. In order to become king, Amalric had no choice but to submit to the will of the High Court. Nevertheless, the king petitioned the Pope for a papal dispensation to legitimize his children and to absolve Agnes of any moral reproach. This request was granted, likely because the couple had demonstrated in court that they had entered into the marriage in good faith. Agnes received no financial compensation, but she retained the title of Countess, an honor she held as Amalric's wife, and continued to use it for the rest of her life. Not long afterwards, she married Hugh of Vibelin.
Father, I've never seen what my mother looks like. You're curious about your mother? Yes, I am. All you need to know is that she was a kind and beautiful woman.
When Baldwin was 6 years old, his father remarried.
Amalric, times have changed. Both Jerusalem and Byzantium are in need of a strong and lasting alliance. I come to you not only as a friend, but with a proposal of great importance. Your Highness, if your words bring benefit to both our kingdoms, then Jerusalem shall always remain open. My niece, Princess Maria Komnena, is not only a woman of intellect and virtue, but has been raised as a future empress. I hope she will rule beside you in Jerusalem as a symbol of unity between our two realms. I have heard much praise of Princess Maria from the envoys. If she brings with her the heart of Byzantium and the gaze of peace, then Jerusalem shall open its gates to welcome her.
It appears that the relationship between Maria and Baldwin was far from warm, as Maria was known to be highly ambitious. This perhaps explains Baldwin's coldness toward her.
Amalric recognized that his heir required a proper education, and when Baldwin turned 9, he appointed William, Archdeacon of Tyre and one of the kingdom's most learned scholars, as the boy's tutor.
From this day forward, I shall be your tutor, my prince.
During the time Baldwin was under William's care, an incident occurred that raised concern. When Baldwin played with other noble boys, they would often pinch each other's hands and arms. While the other children cried out in pain, Baldwin endured it with strange patience, as if he were already familiar with pain. This peculiar reaction aroused William's suspicion.
Baldwin, come here a moment. I need to ask you something.
Yes, teacher.
I've heard that when you play with your companions, they pinch your arm, yet you never cry out in pain. Is that true?
Well, yes, they do pinch quite hard, but I don't feel pain. I thought it was normal.
Normal? You don't feel any pain at all, not even when you're bitten.
No, Master, especially in my right arm, from the elbow down, I feel nothing. It's as if it no longer belongs to me.
Baldwin, do you realize that this is not normal?
I'm not sure. I can still move it, I just can't feel anything. A limb without sensation is a dangerous sign. I shall inform your father and summon a physician. We must find a way to help you. I understand, but please don't tell my friends. I don't want them to look at me differently.